So I went to Bonnaroo last weekend, and since I can't resist being that person that turns every conversation into a way to brag about my 5-day adventure, you're stuck listening to me talk about the significant art history references of random moments I can remember. The highlight not only of my 2013 Bonnaroo trip, but also my life, was being 5 rows from Paul McCartney during his 3-hour-long set. That factoid doesn't enhance your knowledge of art history, but it does enhance my personal understanding of this photo. Sir Paul McCartney was simply brilliant, and may I say, still adorable. He also directly referenced significant modern art movements throughout different Beatles songs. After spending 40 minutes watching the animated slideshow of Beatles memories, and letting the reality that a Beatle will possibly be using the same porta potty as me tonight, the man himself comes out and proves he didn't actually die in 1966. After a brief, hello, I'm suddenly singing 8 days a week with Sir Paul and 90,000 other people. The arena is doused in warm reds, the stage is illuminated from the backdrop and floor to create a matrix of constantly changing spheres and colors. While it could have easily settled into a glorified iTunes screensaver, his callback to the art from his early career solidified the promise of more Beatles songs to come. The late 60s were out there, man, and the art world was loving it. Kind of. Andy Warhol was heating things up with his far from traditional screen prints of Campbell's soup cans. Robert Crumb was starting to create his popular underground comics. Gosh darn it, even those Mop Tops just came out with a feature film about their adventure on a yellow submarine through Pepperland. We're lucky that Mandelbrot fractal art wasn't a thing yet, or else album art would have become extremely repetitive. Instead, we can look back on this time through Bill Graham's promotional posters from the heart of the Haight-Ashbury district in San Francisco, and Peter Max's graphically pleasing bursts of color. Okay, back to the Great Mecca. Well, I was 95% sober for the entirety of Bonnaroo. Not sarcasm. I'm pretty sure I blacked out for an hour of Paul's set due to sheer orgasmic happiness. I only remembered to pay attention to the artistic direction during 2 other songs. One almost subliminal moment was during Back in the USSR, which featured images reminiscent of Russian Cold War propaganda, along with flashes of text proclaiming, "Free Pussy Riot!" While I was all for McCartney proclaiming his support of the feminist punk rock guerrilla activist collective, I'm not sure everyone who was screaming after his proclamation were aware that he was not, in fact, calling for an orgy in the middle of 88% humidity Tennessee. The one moment where I truly art nerded out was during Lovely Rita. Not only was this tour his first time performing it live, but it also featured a backdrop of my absolute favorite Jeff Koons sculptures. I'm sure they're your favorite too, but you know the bootleg bookends sold at your local Urban Outfitters. Maybe I'm missing some grand connection between the courting of a Beatle after a meter maid, but there isn't an obvious link between this tame love story and a bulbous metallic sculpture. Unless Paul's graphic designer realized that this grandiose ode to a person representing a menial job is also what Koons is trying to accomplish through the balloon-themed pieces of his celebration series. The ordinary can still be mysterious. The unimpressive can be viewed as magnificent. Sir Paul McCartney's set at Bonnaroo is something that I'll never shut up about. It was perfect and represented both the significance and commercialization of an artistic era. Check out thestruttingleonardos.com for more detail on the artists mentioned in this video and some other 1960s related rants. Like the fact that in 2008, Koons was commissioned to design the exterior of this 114-foot yacht, and he almost apologetically titled it Guilty. See you at the site.